Ego is a dominant source of power that forces the weak ISAGI to change himself by breaking his limits, makes Chigiri rise above his fears, and turns Nagi into a freaking monster. In this video, I'm going to give you some of the best tips on ego. With it, you can outperform the rest of the 99% and maximize your growth. Why am I the right person to teach you about ego? Here's my experience. I was the worst person alive. Social media was like a drug to me. Whether at school or home, people around me began to treat me like a piece of shit. They looked at me with eyes filled with disgust. Probably because every time they saw me, my eyes were glued to that screen. I also didn't care much about what others think of me and floated in the vast ocean of the internet without any destination. Then, one fateful day, as I was doing my usual sets of scrolling, a video appeared before me. The thumbnail showcased a successful young man basking on a luxurious yacht. Curiosity piqued, I clicked on the video without knowing what was about to happen next with my already messed up brain. Watching that for 2 minutes was enough for me. Damn, I couldn't take it anymore. His shiny success was killing me. Most of the other similar videos didn't trigger me that much, but seeing a similar-age guy already thriving in life made me feel like a weakling. I was only wishy-washy, but he put in the actual work. It annoyed me. Couldn't stomach his damn success anymore. I threw my phone away, running out of my room for some air. I needed to release the stress. As I was bursting outside, my eyes unintentionally locked onto the solitary mirror mocking me from across the room. It dared to reflect my sorry figure. I glared into my own damn face, anger taking me over. In that seething moment, a simple but damning question pierced my tormented mind. How much of a pathetic coward can someone be who never tries for shit? My ego came into play, and that was the beginning of my actual self-improvement journey. Ego had a big positive impact on me. Ego is what helps you do that extra, fuels you to stay 10 minutes longer than your competitor. And these 10 minutes decide everything, whether you'll remain an average person or become a hero. However, unlike anger or sadness, feeling ego is quite rare. Our ability to use it is equally scarce. But is feeling ego truly that uncommon? What if I told you that you can artificially generate ego whenever you want, in order to stay in a constant competitive mode and surpass others? Here's how you do it. After trying lots of frameworks, this one became my favorite. What I did was create a person inside my mind, gave him a name and some personality traits, and considered him my rival. Then I listed out the things that he would do regardless of how he's feeling and that I would shy away from. Now, whenever I feel lazy and don't want to do something, I know that he would still push through, regardless of his own feelings, and leave me behind. This framework leverages the competitive nature that has been ingrained in us since our evolution. The imaginary person you'll create is basically your rival. Both of you have the same goals, but the difference lies in action. He will wake up at 3 a.m. to complete tasks and achieve his goals. The most staggering thing is that you can do the same as him and perform at a remarkable level. By emulating him and competing against him, you will constantly strive to improve, and you'll unlock a new version of yourself. For more details, check out the exercise. The thing is, most of the time, ego has been considered a bad thing. The reason for that is most people don't know how to use ego properly. They express their dark side, ego, to the outside world. And the result? They can't learn from anybody because they have a superior bias. They create conflicts because of their behavior, and they're ignorant of that amazing wisdom and knowledge. If you use it like any other average person, you'll lose. You must refrain from expressing it to the outside world. Instead, utilize it to fuel your inner drive and motivation. The rivalry framework works best for this scenario. You seize your dark feelings from outside and use it to fuel yourself. I still remember after watching that guy, I was incredibly motivated and was working each day like crazy. Can you guess what happened next? Yes, as expected, my motivation only lasted for 2 days. I had gone back to my normal routine as it was before because my emotions had dissipated like dust. But if I had known what I'm about to share now, I would have been much farther ahead than I am currently. Ego alone isn't enough. If ego is a component that gets you started on the path to success, then what are the other things that keep you going and make you successful? Discipline and dedication. Discipline comes from doing things for an extended period of time that you know are boring, hard, and that you won't enjoy doing. Easier said than done, because it's not easy. When you say, yeah, I'm going to change my life starting today, I'm going to be disciplined, it's also a form of motivation, and motivation tends to fade away. But the good thing is, discipline is a skill, and every skill can be learned and improved through effort. Several studies also show that people with self-discipline are happier, because with discipline and self-control, we actually accomplish more of the goals we truly care about. Now let's dig a little deeper. Taking the first step is the hardest, even more so than the subsequent ones. A majority of the population falls into this phase. This isn't surprising considering that one survey reveals 52% of high school students believe they're going to be ultra successful. Can you guess how many of them actually achieve that result? I'll leave that to you. Most of us wait for motivation to strike before taking action, believing that it will only be effective if we're motivated. But the truth is actually the reverse. Action precedes motivation. You have to prime the pump and get the juices flowing. Regardless of what you're trying to do, the only thing you need to get started is that first step. That small step turns into another, and it won't take long for momentum to build. Before you know it, you're motivated. Most people can't reach their destination because it's difficult, and 99% simply can't achieve it. It takes repetition, repeating those boring tasks you hate. I failed at a lot of things simply because I lacked consistency. I wasn't even aware of that fact until I learned it the hard way. The me from the past might have started playing chess, only to quit after 3 days because it's tough, requires intense thinking, and feels uncomfortable. What he didn't know then was that it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's a vital part of the process that will eventually make him a strong opponent. If he persists with this discomfort for a long enough time, he'll emerge victorious. Nobody is born disciplined. Like every skill, discipline requires daily practice and repetition. Here's a framework that, if used correctly, will serve you at its best to become extremely disciplined. First, choose a task that seems challenging to you. Don't deceive yourself and make no excuses. Select the first instinctive task that comes to your mind when you hear the word hard. Second, create a 100-day routine with 100 checkboxes. Finally, dedicate an hour each day to performing these activities with no excuses. Listen, buddy, I might not know you and maybe I never will. But listen, you have what it takes, so prove it to the world, make it happen. There's no one there to push you except yourself. You're the only one who's going to hold you accountable. I understand how difficult it can be, but no one will care if you don't succeed. You're going to face many challenges, but don't let them stop you. Giving up is not an option. You're a badass until you quit, so don't quit. Trust me, it will be so much more worthwhile when one day you'll be able to look in the mirror and say, man, this idiot, he's been through so much crap. Look how far he's come.